So in this video, we're going to talk about how to move data around in a worksheet if you've already inputted it. So, we've talked about how to put it in the data, how to format cells, but it's just important to know that once you put something in a specific cell, it doesn't necessarily have to stay there. You can move that around. So say I wanted to move this specific cell before somewhere else, say I wanted everything over a row, I don't have to create a whole new row and copy these numbers over. All I need to do is just highlight the cell that I want to move, and if I hover my cursor over the border of it, you get this cross, this four arrow cross. I can simply click and drag, and I can move this cell wherever I want it to go. I'm just going to move it over one, and it's going to pull everything over, including the formatting of that cell. And the other neat thing about it, we can do it to big groups of cells. So instead of doing each one individually, I can just pull that over, and I could do the same to these. The other thing that we could do, I could just select this entire row here and just choose to move everything in that row over one. So that just makes things a lot faster, so you wouldn't have to retype something. You can accomplish the same thing by copying and pasting or cutting it and moving it over, but this is just another way to do something. Just important to remember, if I move this here, since the font in this specific cell is a lot greater than uh, the font size here, it's going to automatically adjust the height of that row to fit everything in it, but it does it across the entire row. So you see, it's no longer consistent across all of these row heights in row 7, where we're going to have it be a little bit higher. So just keep that in mind as you move things around, that these heights and widths of things may possibly change as we move it around. And that's about it with moving things around in Excel. The last thing that's important, and we'll get into this a little bit further down the road, but if I have a formula, real quick, I'm just going to say, this cell, and again, we'll cover this in a lot more depth. I just added these two cells together, B4 and B5. Now, if I move it, that formula is going to remain the same. So remember, it was referencing, I did B4 plus B5, but now if I look at this, it's actually D4 plus B5. And that's important to remember as you have formulas throughout your sheet. If you move something, that's okay, because, Excel understands that I'm moving everything within this cell, and all the formulas within the sheet are just going to update automatically. I wouldn't have to go back through and update every formula that I have to, okay, I move this over here, I have to now change this to D4. I just don't need to do that. I can just simply, move the cells around as I want them, and everything's going to update in our formula bar, which is, a really neat thing, can save us a lot of time.